Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very surreal day for me. I must confess I've been keeping a secret from you for months, and it has been the most painful secret I've ever kept. I've wanted to tell you guys so badly, but you know how NDAs are. Many of you will know that I've been pursuing voiceover for a number of years now. It's the very reason why I moved out to LA in the first place. And it's been going really well, but I never in a million years expected that it'd go this well. One of my dream goals was to voice a AAA video game protagonist. As an avid lover of both acting and games, what I never anticipated was that I'd get to voice such an iconic and legendary character. Today I was given the go-ahead to finally announce that I'm the English voice actor for the one and only, the Dragon of Dojima himself, the legendary Kazuma Kiryu, in the upcoming Like a Dragon games or Yakuza games, Like a Dragon Gaiden and Like a Dragon 8. What is my life? I don't know. I cannot begin to tell you how much this means to me. Kazuma Kiryu has become one of my favorite protagonists in any medium of all time. I love not only how badass and fierce he is, and also ridiculously good looking. What makes him so iconic is his heart of gold. It's his kindness, his compassion, it's his incorruptible integrity and loyalty, as well as his dedication to anything he takes on, whether it's frickin' Pocket Circuit or some kind of silly sub-story where he's just trying to help someone out, and how unashamed he is of himself. You know, he's playing Pocket Circuit and it's just a bunch of kids and then this grown-ass adult, but he doesn't care. He loves Pocket Circuit and he's not ashamed of it. And everything he does, he gives 110%. And, he's the kind of person that I strive to be more like. I feel like in many ways, Kiryu redefines what it means to be masculine. He's just a really wholesome guy who has to walk this gray area because he's part of a Yakuza organization. And he's just such a fascinating character, and to be given the chance to fill his shoes and to be able to portray this amazing character is, dream come true is an understatement, because this is one of those dreams that I didn't even know was pursuable, much less attainable. This is one of those things that one might fantasize about, becoming the protagonist of a AAA game series that's so iconic, but to actually see that fantasy become reality, my brain is having a hard time processing all this. This is a lot to soak in. It doesn't feel real, but it is. And I am just so incredibly grateful. This is not how I expected my life to go, but here I am. I'm not going to take this for granted. I am going to make every moment count in this blissful time of my life. Here's the announcement from RGG Studio, not only announcing my role as the new English voice of Kiryu, but also I'll be joining none other than Takeya Kuroda, the Japanese voice actor, at Anime Expo on Sunday, July 2nd, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. During this time slot, we'll be hosting a panel where we're going to hang out and talk about some of the upcoming games and just the experience of playing Kiryu and developing these games. It's for those who are going to be in LA and at Anime Expo, I hope you'll show up and say hi. I also got to put up a statement on Twitter, talk about how 4 years ago I moved to LA with dreams of one day playing a AAA game protagonist, but I never imagined I'd land such a legendary role. It is my greatest honor, the greatest honor of my life, to announce I'm the English voice of Kazuma Kiryu. And the love you guys have been displaying, this is insane. The number of people who have viewed this tweet, the number of people who have commented and expressed their congratulations, who are cheering me on and supporting me and wishing me the best. Making an announcement like this can be really terrifying, both really exciting, but also really terrifying, because this character, Kiryu, people have a very specific idea of who this character is. He's an established character. I'm not building him from the ground up. I am inheriting this role, right, from Takeya Kuroda's performance, and of course Zero Carrillo, the original English voice actor for Kiryu. There's a lot that I have to live up to, both to these actors and to this character who people know very intimately, and if there's anything about my performance that's off, people are going to catch on to that. And trust me, I know what it's like to be on that side. I'm a gamer myself. I love game franchises, and I know what it's like to see something change all of a sudden and be like, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to wait and see. What I can promise you is that I love this character as much as you do. And I know the responsibility that I'm taking on. I'm taking it very seriously. And I know that I have a duty to do this character justice. I, as someone who loves this character, want to do this character justice. So believe me, I'm giving this my everything. But at the same time, I'm having such a blast with this character. Kiryu is such a challenging character to play in the best ways because he's so layered. You know, he's stoic, but within that stoicism, there's a lot of nuanced emotions happening. But he also has those big emotional outbursts as well. But at the same time, he has those really fun moments, but all of it still has to feel like Kiryu. You know, you can't go too far one way or the other or you lose Kiryu. So finding that balance has been a really interesting challenge, and it's pushed me as an actor. So this is not only a dream role because it's Kiryu, it's just one of those roles that really pushes me as an actor. It's actually like a really fun character to explore and to challenge myself with. So it's just been such a treat. And I really want to shout out and thank the folks at PCB Productions. Keith Aram, he's the casting director and the voice director for Like a Dragon. I cannot thank him enough for taking a chance on me and for sending my audition over to Sega to see if they liked it. And fortunately, they really liked it and they wanted me for the role. I remember getting the notice that I was chosen. I was actually at PCB Productions here, and here's some photos of Keith. He's my man here. He's also the voice director, and he's been just an incredible guide and very collaborative as well. He's open to taking suggestions, and we like bounce ideas off of each other. And he's just been really flexible and really understanding of just how much I care about getting this character right. So just huge shout out to PCB Productions and Keith for giving me this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, for casting me and for directing me in such a just a collaborative and fulfilling way. English Kiryu is being incubated right in here. This is where I walk in to record for Kiryu during my sessions, and we've been doing sessions for months now. There is a lot of dialogue to cover across two of these games, and man, every time I walk in that booth, I just feel so blessed. I just still can't believe that my life in this chaotic sea and road we call life, somehow my journey ended up here. It's so crazy. What are the odds that I, of all people, would land this role and be at the right place at the right time? Just life is so crazy sometimes. And for those wondering how I got this role, well, over the last few years, I've been fortunate enough to be represented by an agent. I'm with SBV, and shout out to everyone at SBV, my agent Julie. They've been just so awesome with working with me and with my schedule and sending me awesome auditions my way and just providing me so many incredible opportunities. They sent me the audition for this project, but here's a fun fact. I almost missed auditioning for Like a Dragon because every once in a while, an email slips through that, I don't know, I just forget to mark as an audition, or that just for some reason, I just don't end up reading and it just falls through the cracks. It happens very infrequently, but when it does happen, it really sucks. And this email happened to be one of those that fell through the cracks. I never saw it, but fortunately, I had worked with PCB Productions before on another project. You may recall that Lost Judgment, which is set in the Yakuza universe, released a DLC called The Kaito Files, and I played the final boss in that game, Yasutaka Shirakawa. And so I'd worked with PCB before, and they actually had me in mind for this other role that they're like, oh, Yang would be perfect for this. And so they actually hit me up directly a month after that initial batch of auditions was sent through my agent. When they realized that I didn't respond, they're like, hey, we noticed that you did an audition for this. Do you want to audition for this? We have something in mind for you, and we have all these characters that we need to cast. So do you want to send something in? I'm like, oh my God, thank you for like letting me know and for the heads up, because I missed that initial email. It's just one of those like bad luck moments. If PCB hadn't contacted me directly, I would have never auditioned for this project, and I would have missed out on an incredible opportunity, which is just crazy to think about. So I'm incredibly grateful to Keith and Valerie Aram and to the folks at PCB Productions for just, keeping tabs on me and just offering me these opportunities. But it was a bunch of scripts for a bunch of different characters, and I remember seeing one of them labeled as just Dragon, and I immediately went, no way. And then I clicked on the file, and lo and behold, not only is the audition script there, but also an image of none other than Kiryu. And I just, I didn't even know it was possible to pursue this role. But there it was. And I knew that this was one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that I had to give my all. I also did audition for a bunch of other characters that they had, but I put a lot of effort into Kiryu's audition especially. I spent literally days. There was a certain deadline that I had to submit by, and I spent until the last second just honing that audition and listening back to it and seeing if I had any new ideas on nuances that I could add. Now, this was 2 rounds of auditions. The first round, I focused a lot on creating the Kiryu voice, making sure that it sounded like Kiryu, and I used Takaya Kuroda's Kiryu voice as sort of the base and the foundation. My voice isn't exactly like his, but I knew I had to be within that realm. And so once I felt comfortable with the voice, I did the audition and did a lot of adjustments over the course of days, and once I felt satisfied, I sent it in. But I remember listening back to it a couple days later and realizing that I made the grave mistake of focusing too much on the voice and not on the performance and the emotions. The performance felt very flat. The voice sounded like Kiryu, but the performance, the emotional nuances just weren't there. And so I thought, I botched it. There's no way I'm going to get this role. God, I hope they at least do a callback or something. And thankfully, they did do a callback. I was called back for Kiryu, and the note that I was given was, lo and behold, try to find more emotional nuances in the script. And I went, thank God for giving me the second chance, because I focused too much on the voice. And now that I've got the voice down, I can focus on giving Kiryu those emotions and really focusing on Kiryu's state of mind in the specific scenes. We had dialogue that were more melancholic and emotional, dialogue that was more that, badass Kiryu. And so there was a wide variety of range for Kiryu that they wanted to see. And so for that callback audition, I was able to focus on the emotions, and I also spent days on that audition as well. I would do a couple takes, find the best ones, then come back the next day, listen to it again with fresh ears, see if I could hear anything that felt off or if I could get some new ideas about emotional nuances that I can add. And I literally cleared my schedule and spent days and days and days on this thing. And I remember thinking when I submitted my audition for Kiryu, damn, that's pretty good. I was confident that I could be a top candidate. I felt really proud of that audition. It was one of those, regardless of whether I get the role or not, I knew I brought out the best that I could bring to the role. And I was just really proud of this submission. But did I think I was actually going to get it? Hell no. The odds seem so astronomically low that I, of all people, out of all of the talent that exists out there, would be chosen to helm this role. But I knew that I'd kick myself if I didn't put my best foot forward. And so I still gave it my all. I still spent days on this thing that I had a very low probability of getting, and feeling proud of the audition that I did submit. Thought to myself, well, that was a good audition, but out of sight, out of mind. I'm not going to get this. And then I was at PCB Productions one day to record for another project. And before that session, I get this notice from one of the assistants that Keith Aram wants to talk to me in person once we go on a break for this other project that I was recording. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Am I in trouble? And again, at this point, I had no hopes of ever getting Kiryu. Again, the probability, the odds of that seemed so low that I didn't even want to hope that was a possibility. But then during the session for that other project, Valerie Aram, the voice director for that project, she kept hinting that, I think you're going to be a really happy person today. I think you're going to get some really good news. And that's when it started to dawn on me, the possibility that maybe I have been chosen to play Kiryu, but I still didn't want to hope, because to assume that and then be told that's not the news would break my heart. So I just kept my cool and went, yeah, it's probably not what I think it is, but I'm excited to hear what this good news is. And then once we went on a break for that project, Keith Aram, this man right here, he pulls me aside. He takes me outside and we sit down. It's this nice like backyard area. There's a table and some chairs there. We sit down and he looks at me and he goes, so we had you in mind for this other role, but you submitted that audition for Kiryu. Well, yesterday, Sega called us and they told us they want you to play Kiryu. And it's one of those things that you're like, I heard that very clearly, but my brain just can't fathom those words, those string of words put together, because, you know, you daydream about scenarios like these happening to you one day, but you never really think it's actually going to happen to you because, I mean, what are the chances? And yet there I was hearing this news that it took a while for my brain to chew and swallow. But once it sunk in, I mean, I cannot begin to tell you the amount of joy I felt that day. One of the best days of my life. And also one of the most terrifying days, because it also sunk in that I'm taking on this role that's beloved by many people, and there are going to be high expectations for that performance. So I knew that I had to bring my A game. But, you know, I was ready for the challenge. I knew deep in my heart that I really wanted to do this, that it felt right. And so I said, yes, let's do this. And from then on, we started to do a bunch of sessions, and we've been doing sessions for months now. And I remember the first session was a little rocky because I was still like finding the character, but eventually, you know, we got to a point where I could just lock into the character very quickly. And it's been smooth sailing since, and we've been working very hard on this thing. And, I don't know, man. How is my life real right now? I half expect that at some point somebody's just gonna break into my apartment and just go, "You've been punked," and just walk out. And I'll be like, you know what? That's fair. But so far, so good. So far, nobody's told me that I've been punked. So far, this is real. I'm playing Kazuma Kiryu, and I hope you'll enjoy my performance. And I take on this role with reverence for Daryl Carrillo, who was the original English voice actor for Kiryu. And of course, Takeo Kuroda is the voice and embodiment of Kiryu. And, you know, he is the blueprint for my performance. I want to capture the essence that Takeo Kuroda brought to Kiryu as much as possible. And that's, you know, that's a tall order. Takeo Kuroda's performance is legendary. And, you know, to match that is I got to bring my A game. I got to give this everything I have. And I have every intention to. And look, I know there are going to be some skeptics out there. I know this news comes out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere for me. I was also like, what? This guy's going to play Kiryu? When I was informed of the news. And I know there are people out there who are also kind of like, I don't know, which is fair. You know, I understand where you're coming from as a gamer myself, as someone who loves video game franchises and who has been on that side of, ooh, that's different than what I was expecting. I'm going to have to wait and see. I'm not quite sure what to think about that. I get it. And with something like this, it's never possible to please everyone, but I personally am very proud of what I've been able to bring to the character, and I know how important it is to do him justice, and I'm not taking that importance for granted. What I can promise you is that I'm not just taking on this role for the bragging rights. I'm taking on this role because I love acting. I love a character like Kiryu, and being able to fill the shoes of a character who is so complex and nuanced and has so many cool elements going on in terms of his whole arc and the different aspects to his personality that are so appealing to me. I just genuinely love this character, and that's why I so badly want to play him and do him justice. And, you know, I've been acting for longer than I've been YouTubing, believe it or not. I've been doing theater for many, many years. And all of that experience I want to draw from to make Kiryu feel as authentic as possible to the character that Takeo Kuroda gave birth to. And I hope you'll look forward to it. I'm having the time of my life here. And I just appreciate everyone who supported me all these years, who've cheered me on, who've given me that encouragement to find the bravery within myself to take this leap of faith of moving to LA and pursuing voice acting all on my own. I cannot believe that I've made it to this point. And I owe so much of this to my community, the folks on my channel who've, watched my videos. I mean, I've been able to stay financially afloat because of the channel, but to have like an audience who's also cheering me on with my other endeavors, I never want to take you guys for granted. And I really want to let you guys know how much your support has meant to me. Without it, I would not be here. Straight up, like you guys have made so much of my fortunate life right now possible. And so just much love to you. And I hope I can make you proud when these games come out. Thank you for tuning in, folks. I appreciate you all. Look forward to more news on some of my voiceover endeavors, but mainly, of course, we're going to stick to gaming news, reviews, and discussions. Those are going to be coming in as well, so look forward to that. I hope you'll stay tuned right here on Young Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Young out.